When balance dies, faith collapses. By Joseph Habimana and Goma. Many people love God sincerely. They pray. They go to church. They read the Bible. They believe deeply in the promises of God. Yet when life becomes difficult, something strange happens. Faith that once felt strong suddenly becomes fragile. Questions begin to rise. Why do so many sincere believers struggle when life becomes hard? Why does faith feel powerful in seasons of peace but weak under pressure? Why do people who truly love God sometimes begin to question Him when heaven becomes silent? These questions are not rare. They are happening everywhere. In churches. In families. In ministries. In the private hearts of believers who never expected to feel this way. This is exactly the problem that led me to write my book. When balance dies, faith collapses. This book confronts a truth that many believers never see. Faith often collapses not because God failed. Faith collapses because balance was lost. Many believers are taught how to pray. But they are not taught how to live in spiritual structure. Many believers are taught how to confess. But they are not taught how to build discipline. Many believers are taught how to believe. But they are not taught how to order their lives. And when life becomes unbalanced, pressure begins to expose something deeper. Pressure does not create weakness. Pressure reveals imbalance. In this book, I explore a powerful spiritual reality. When life loses alignment, faith becomes vulnerable. This is why some believers pray intensely for a season and then collapse emotionally. This is why some Christians worship passionately but struggle privately. This is why some people who love God deeply become confused during seasons of silence. The problem is not always unbelief. The problem is often structure. When structure is weak, even strong faith becomes unstable. And when pressure comes, instability begins to appear. That is why this book is not about trying harder. It is not about becoming more religious. It is not about spiritual performance. This book is a call to alignment. Inside these pages, I explain truths that many believers have never been taught clearly. You will discover why pressure exposes imbalance before it exposes unbelief. You will understand why God's silence can feel frightening when life structure is weak. You will see why effort without God leads to exhaustion. You will understand why confession without discipline creates spiritual illusion. And you will see why neutrality is dangerous in a world where spiritual forces are constantly at work. But this book is not only about exposing problems. It is about restoring something powerful. Balance. When balance returns, something incredible begins to happen. Faith becomes stable again. Prayer becomes deeper. Clarity returns. Peace returns. Life begins to move with order instead of chaos. This message is deeply rooted in one of the most important teachings of Jesus Christ. In Matthew 6:33, Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." Many people read this verse as a command to focus on heaven. But what Jesus was revealing is something deeper. He was revealing order. Seeking the kingdom first is not about ignoring life responsibilities. It is about placing life in the correct structure. When heaven leads and life follows, balance is restored. And when balance stands, faith stands. This book is written especially for believers who feel spiritually tired. For Christians who are confused by silence. For readers who are searching for deeper clarity. For anyone who wants faith that remains strong not only in calm seasons, but also in storms. This message is not a condemnation. It is an explanation. It is an invitation. An invitation to restore balance. An invitation to realign life with God's design. An invitation to rediscover the stability that God intended for His people. Because the truth is simple but powerful. When balance dies, faith collapses. But when balance stands, faith stands. And when faith stands, Victory follows. Thank you. You can find all these books on Amazon, Draft 2 Digital, D2D, Google Play Books, bookshop.org. Available globally, on all major platforms.